Okay, so hello everyone, and welcome back to yet another session of IDT. Okay, so till now we have only done one of our classes. Okay, we have only done our first session, and that was basic introduction. Okay, some more parts are left to be discussed in the introduction, and after that, we'll go into our mainstream of action. Okay, so let's have a quick revision. What we did in the last session was mainly that we discussed that what actually is IDT, or particularly what actually is GST. Correct. I How far I can remember, we discussed that how the GSTs has been divided. Correct. There is a CGST, there is a SGST, there is a UTGST. Along with that, there is a compensation cess act as well. Okay, so those all are applicable right now in India. Okay, we also discussed that whenever it is between two states, maybe, okay, or maybe whenever the seller and the buyer are in two different states, or in two different UTs, or in one state and one UTs, correct, then what is the tax that we levy? Which tax do we levy? When it is between two states, or one state, one UT, or two UTs, which tax do we levy?
CGST.
No, IGST, because it is between two things, correct? So in that case, it will be IGST. But when it will be within the same state, correct? When it is within the same state, so in that case, it is CGST plus SGST. And when it is within the same union territory, then in that case, it is CGST plus UTGST, correct? So let's write it and discuss it a bit. So whenever it's between two states, or UTs, or between one state and one UT, so in that case, okay, we levy IGST, which is nothing but combination of both CGST, SGST, or UTGST, as the case may be. Correct. You know what is the term that is being used to call it? We call it interstate. We call it interstate sales or transactions, whatever you feel like. Okay, why interstate? Inter means when something is between two things, correct? जब कोई भी चीज दो चीजों के बीच में होता है, करेक्ट, तो वो इंटर बोलते हैं. तो वैसे ही अगर दो स्टेट या दो यूटी या एक स्टेट या एक यूटी के बीच में ट्रांजैक्शन होता है, वहां पे हम आईजीएसटी लेवाई करते हैं. ठीक है, और इसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? क्योंकि हमेशा तो हम ये नहीं बोलेंगे ना कि एक स्टेट था, एक यूटी था, दो स्टेट थी, दो यूटी थी, हमेशा हम ऐसा नहीं बोले. तो हम बोलेंगे क्योंकि ये इंटर स्टेट सेल था, इसीलिए आईजीएसटी लगेगा. Okay, so this is यही इसका नाम है. We call it interstate sales. Okay, and numerous number of times we'll be using the same word, that it is the interstate sale. We'll never ever say it is between two state, between two UTs, or one state or one UTs. Correct. Now, whenever the transaction is within the same state or same within the same UT, so we call it as, so what does we levy? We levy CGST plus SGST or UTGST. If it is UT, then UTGST. If it is SG, then it is SGST. Correct. And what is the term used to define them? We call it intra-state sales. Okay. Inter means between two things. Correct. So it is inter, and sir, I'm not comfortable in Hindi. Yeah, I get it, but the same thing I repeated in English as well. So it will be a mix of both. Okay. So that we get everything. And I'll make sure that by the end of our course, you will be as good as in Hindi as well. Okay. So it is intra-state sales. Correct. Whenever it is within same state or within same UT, it is intra-state sales. Okay. CGST, SGST, or UTGST, as the case may be, will be levied. ठीक है, क्लियर है ना यहाँ तक? फिर हम आगे बढ़ते हैं डिस्कशन को लेकर.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So what are the Okay, let's begin our discussion. Okay. So what are the advantages of GST? So on the very first hand, it is a just a second. Okay. So at the very first stage, okay, it is the advantage is that, see, we discussed now that so many taxes, okay, that used to be in the previous indirect tax system, okay, is curved, correct, and all have been subsumed to form one tax. Okay, so that's why this there is a motto or there is a line of saying we always call GST as a one nation one tax, correct, because if you remember the example that we saw, okay, that pre GST and after GST, correct, this was it. Okay, so here we saw that on manufacture there a different taxability arises. Okay, on uh, sell a different taxes there, correct. When it is between two states, then it is CST. Okay, when it is within the same state, then there is a VAT concept is there, correct. But now, right now, okay, after the GST scheme, there is only one tax, okay, that is GST, which is levied on supply. And what I said, what we have discussed till now, what supply is all about, it is simply the sales, correct. There are more interpretation of supply, but right now we discuss that supply means sale. Okay, so the basic advantage is that it is a one nation, one tax. Okay, removal of bundled indirect tax such as VAT, CST, service tax. Okay, CAD, SAD. Okay, this is all in custom. Okay, CAD is, anyone knows?
Countervailing duty.
That will be CVD, not CAD. Correct. This is CVD, countervailing duty, special additional duty. Okay, and excise. So these all have been subsumed. Okay, they have been removed. Okay, removal of cascading effect, that is tax on tax. We discussed with the example in the last session. Correct. Previously, when you used to produce, you used to pay excise duty. Correct. And on the same excise duty, okay, and on the same excise duty, we used to pay the sales tax as well. Correct. So every time, whenever you used to calculate the tax, okay, the amount was always inclusive of our taxes. So there was a cascading effect, that is tax on tax. So it has been removed now. Okay, I think someone's mic is is not on mute. Please be on mute. Okay. Fourth is it has increased the ease of doing business. Okay, the ease with which the business is being done has been increased a lot. Okay, okay, this point, increase in the ease of doing business. Okay, when we'll further go into the course now, we'll see different thing now, we'll come to know better about it, that what actually it means to say by this word. Okay, fifth point, lower cost of production. Okay, increases demand will lead to increased supply, hence this will ultimately lead to rise in the production of goods. Okay, resultant boost to make in India initiative, correct, because this boost to make Indian initiative na, when we'll read about customs and all na, then we'll see that just because we are importing something na, government charges so many taxes on it, correct. They try to make it over and above price that is for the same product which is there in India, correct. So with this GST na, see, all the excessive taxesness, okay, which was there in the previous law has been removed, correct. So when you are paying less tax, that means your cost, ultimately your cost is being reduced, correct, because no matter at a wholesaler level or at a retailer level, okay, definitely you are not paying tax, but the one who is the final consumer is bearing all the taxes, correct. Previously he used to bear more and more taxes, but right now I'm not saying that he is not bearing anything, but taxes are less, thereby the cost of the product is also lowered a bit. Okay. Sixth, it will boost export and manufacturing activity, generate more employment, and thus increase GDP and gainful employment, leading to substantive economic growth. Okay. Each and every point has a similar meaning regarding to that it has. Okay. See, right now what I'm saying, you might feel like what he is saying, okay, what sir is continuously saying ease of business. Okay, what actually has happened? But when we'll discuss things now, okay, as we go, then you will also feel like that, yes, actually it has happened. Okay, what used to be done at a beforehand, and now actually what is happening, there is a hell and heaven difference. Correct. But yes, there are some loopholes till now. Okay, there are some bad theories about it, but no worries. Okay, one nation, one tax. What actually it is, GST will extend to the whole of India, including the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Okay. On 7th of July 2017, Jammu and Kashmir Goods and Service Tax Bill was passed by the state legislature. Okay, empowering the state to levy state GST on intrastate, correct? State GST, intrastate, so state GST. Supplies with effect from 8th July 2017. So on 7th, they passed their state act, okay, state GST, and on from 8th, GST was levied. So we can say that from 8th of July, whole of India, okay, GST is levied in whole of India. Okay. Concomitantly, the President of India has promulgated two ordinances, namely the Central Goods and Service Tax, okay, extension to Jammu and Kashmir Ordinance, okay, 2017, and Integrated Goods and Service Tax, extension to Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, so we know that actually at the first, okay, on 1st of July, when it rolled out, it was not for Jammu Kashmir, correct? Because we know after the removal of Article 370, okay, it has become a state, correct? So it has its power to pass its own law, correct? So whatever was done at the beginning or at the first day was exclusive of Jammu and Kashmir, correct? And after they themselves pass their act, they also become the part of GST now. Okay. Okay, with this, the state Jammu and Kashmir have become part of GST regime, making GST truly one nation, one tax regime. Okay, all good things are said. Okay, dual model of GST. Okay, see what actually dual model is that here both the state and the central are working hand in hand. Okay, how so? Because whenever we talk about CGST, okay, it is the tax which is levied by the central government and it is completely controlled by the central government as well, correct? But whenever we talk about SGST, okay, it is their state respective act. If you remember, I said that our syllabus is 95% syllabus is of CGST. Okay, at fewer places you will say that it is some IGST part is there, like place of supply and all. You'll see that, but never ever we have touched SGST. You know why? Because whatever is there in the CGST, all the states, okay, all the states have the same rule, but yeah, the names have changed. Correct. So similarly, for say for example, for Delhi, it will be Delhi sales. Okay, Delhi GST. Okay, we call it SGST, means SGST of Delhi. Correct. So its state's name are added, and in the act also, if you go on to see, it might be possible that the section numbers have changed a bit, but the thing, whatever is written, is has always remained the same. Okay. India adopted a dual GST wherein tax imposed concurrently by the central and state. Okay. So CGST is there, SGST is there, and IGST is also there. And we discussed that as well, that IGST is fully controlled by central. Okay, means at first the revenue is received by the central, and after that, okay, whatever will be the destination of that goods, say CG will be transferring SG's portion after the final destination. Okay, because we discussed GST is a destination based tax. Okay, we haven't discussed this much, but I remember I have used it once. But today itself we'll discuss this. Why actually destination based tax I'm saying. Okay. So CGST is the central GST collected by the central government. SGST is the state GST collected by the respective state governments. And IGST is the integrated goods and service tax collected by the central government on interstate supply of goods and services. Correct. What actually is the interstate? Whenever it is between two state or two UTs or one state or one UTs. Correct. Okay, now, okay, like something regarding the acts are given. Okay, so it will be on your part. Just read it once. Otherwise, we have discussed everything. Okay. Okay, so in India, okay, how many states are there? That is known by all, correct? But how many UTs are there is always a point of discussion, correct? So there are 28 states, okay, and there are 8 union territories, correct? Among those 8 union territories, there are 3 union territories which have their own state act. Can anyone name them? Okay, it's given only.
Chandigarh.
No, Chandigarh. No. Chandigarh is still without legislature. It is Delhi, Pondicherry, whatever you pronounce, and Jammu and Kashmir. Okay. So actually, how many states are there for GST? How many states it became? It became 28 normal and 3 with the legislature. Correct. So as per GST, there are 31 states. Okay. So as per GST, there are 31 states. Okay. And 5 UTs. Correct. So can anyone say how many SGST Act are there in India? How many SGST Acts are there in India? When I say that each state has their own SGST Act.
31.
Correct. So there are total 31 SGST Act. Okay. So always remember from GST's point of view, okay, Delhi, Pondicherry and Jammu and Kashmir are deemed to be state. Correct. But Andaman and Nicobar is a union territory. Okay. Ladakh, Lakshadweep, Chandigarh, and now Dadar and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu, they all are combined into one union territory. Okay, in the previous year. So you have to remember this. Okay, so there are, if you see geographically, there are 28 states and 8 UTs. Okay, but among those 8 UTs, there are three such UTs which have their own state legislature. Means they have their state government over there. Correct. What are those? Delhi, Pondicherry, and Jammu and Kashmir. So as per the GST, there are 31 states and 5 UTs. Yes. See, the following union territories without legislature is Lakshadweep, Daman and Diu and Dadar and Nagar Haveli, Andaman and Nicobar Island, Ladakh and Chandigarh. Okay, so these things are only written over here. Okay, so it will be on your part to read it once in your life. Okay, I won't say read it today, read it tomorrow, read it once in your life. Now see, this one we have discussed at the very beginning of this session, how to decide IGST or CGST or is plus SGST while raising invoices. How to decide?
Sir, if
Yes.
it is in the same state, then intra-state, then CGST, SGST. If it will be in the different state, then there will be IGST.
Correct. This is very correct. But now I'm giving you some terms. Remember it by the term. If you remember, I used once where the buyer and the seller are in different states. करेक्ट वन एंड द सेम मीनिंग अगर सेम स्टेट में सेल हो रही है तो इसका मतलब बायर और सेलर एक ही स्टेट में एक ही मतलब है लेकिन वी यूज द वर्ड LOS and POS.
LOS means
location of supplier
and
POS means place of supply. Okay, this place of supply you'll understand more better once we are done with the chapter place of supply. Okay, there we'll literally learn that how actually place of supply is determined. Correct, because we say now that GST is a destination based tax. Correct. So for example, if I sold my product, okay, suppose I'm an intermediary. Okay, I am selling my product to someone who is in Delhi. Correct. And he is further selling to someone else. How will I come to know that whom he sold it? Correct. So that's why place of supply is there, where there will see that there are around 34 to 35 cases, okay, which has been explained by the department itself, that for us, if this is the situation, so place of supply will be this. Correct. So what we will say, see, we know that in case of interstate, it is IGST. We know interstate means it is between two states or between two UTs or one state or one UTs. Correct. Just change it with the word buyer and supplier. So buyer is what? Location of the buyer. And supplier, sorry, a buyer and sorry. Seller is the location of the supplier, and buyer is what? Is determined as place of supply. Okay. So location of supplier, we call it in short LOS, and place of supply, we call it POS. Correct. So if LOS and POS are in the same state, then what it is and which tax will be levied?
That is intrastate and CGST and SGST.
Correct. And if they are in two different states?
Interstate and IGST.
Correct. See, if location of the supplier and place of supply is in the same state, so in that case, it is a intrastate, intra. Okay, so with that, CGST or SGST will be levied. Correct. Suppose if it is UT, so just replace the word SGST with UT GST. Correct. And if location of the supplier and place of supply are in different state, so in that case, interstate transaction, that is IGST. Okay, let's have a quick recap in Hindi. तो हमने अभी क्या डिस्कस किया? देखिए, मैंने ये पिछले सेशन में भी, I think there is this. Okay, are you guys facing any delay with my words on the screen?
Sir, 2 to 3 seconds delay, sir.
2 to 3. Okay, I'll keep a note. Whenever I do something in the screen, after that you feel it. Correct. Okay. तो हमने अभी क्या डिस्कस किया? हमने पिछले सेशन में भी ये चीजें डिस्कस की थी कि एक्चुअली में जीएसटी जो है ना, ये कैसे लगता है. तो हमने वहां बात किया था ना कि अगर खरीदने वाला और बेचने वाला, ठीक है, अगर एक ही स्टेट में है ना, तो उस केस में सीजीएसटी और एसजीएसटी लगता है. हमने आज ये डिस्कस किया कि उसको हम बोलते हैं इंट्रा स्टेट. करेक्ट. लेकिन अगर खरीदने वाला और बेचने वाला, ठीक, अभी मैं एकदम नॉर्मल टर्म्स यूज कर रहा हूं, अगर खरीदने वाला और बेचने वाला अलग अलग स्टेट्स में है, करेक्ट, सो उसको हम लोग, उसमें हम लोग क्या यूज करते हैं? आईजीएसटी यूज करते हैं, और उसको हम लोग इंटर स्टेट ट्रांजेक्शन बोलते हैं. ठीक है. अब जो खरीदने वाला है ना, जो बेचने वाला है, उसको हम लोग, उसके जगह पे हम वर्ड रिप्लेस करेंगे लोकेशन ऑफ सप्लायर. जो बेच रहा है उसकी लोकेशन क्या है? करेक्ट. और जो खरीद रहा है ना, उसके पास तो वो चीजें सप्लाई हो रही है, तो उस सप्लाई का प्लेस क्या है? करेक्ट. तो लोकेशन ऑफ द सप्लायर और प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई दोनों अगर एक स्टेट में हो तो उसको हम लोग इंट्रा बोलते हैं, और सीजीएसटी, एसजीएसटी और यूटीजीएसटी एज द केस में भी यूज करते हैं. लेकिन अगर ये दोनों अलग अलग स्टेट में हो तो इन दैट केस हम उसको इंटरस्टेट ट्रांजैक्शन, इंटरस्टेट सेल बोलते हैं. ट्रांजैक्शन, सेल, सप्लाई. ओके, दिस वर्ड्स ना इन जीएसटी ना, दिस वर्ड्स सेल, सप्लाई and transaction are used synonymously. Okay, एक दूसरे की जगह कोई भी वर्ड हम यूज कर देते हैं. ठीक है. तो इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि मैं सेल बोल रहा हूं तो ट्रांजैक्शन अलग चीज है, या फिर मैं सप्लाई बोल रहा हूं तो सेल कोई अलग चीज. ओके, दे आर वन एंड द सेम. Okay, now we'll discuss. Okay, if you remember in the last session only, I was discussing something that there is a governing body who will be recommending things to the government. Do any one of you?
GSTIN. Council.
Correct. GST Council. Correct. So we discussed that there is a recommending body of GST, which is nothing but GST Council. Okay, so I'll take you to our handwritten notes there. It is there. Okay, so GST Council. Now this GST Council has been appointed. Okay, this body has been appointed by the president itself. Okay, because there is an article 279A which says that president, okay, means it was said on the first day, like the article itself says that on the first day when GST will be rolled out, president will be appointing a body which will act as a recommending body, okay, for the tax matters related to GST. Okay, Article 279. So this GST Council came with the hand of, by holding the hand of Article 279A, and this is the mother body, or you can say recommending body. Okay, so they always decide on different things. Okay, and after the decision is passed, they recommend the central or state government as what to be done regarding this. Okay, so what are their functions? So apparently they decide the tax rates. Okay, so they decide about the exemptions, that what exemptions should be there, what not should be there. Threshold limit. Okay, what actually is the threshold limit is for? Is for registration under GST Act. Okay, registration under GST Act, a threshold limit is for that, and any kind of disputes. Okay, now why disputes? Once we read na that what actually is the formation of GST Council, you will yourself come to know why dispute word is here. Okay, with dispute, definitely if some outside dispute is there, they will solve that as well, but this dispute has a different meaning. Okay, let's talk about its formation, that who all are member of this GST Council, then we'll come to know why dispute word is here. So, see, the first one is the Union Finance Minister. Okay, and she is our chairperson. Why I'm using she? You all know well. Correct. So, Union Finance Minister is the chairperson of the GST Council. Okay. After that, Union Minister of State in charge of Revenue or Minister in charge of Finance, appointed or nominated. Okay. So what actually they are saying? First will be the Union. Okay. Finance Minister of India. Okay. After that, Union Minister of State in charge of Revenue. Okay. Who is in charge of Revenue? They, and after that, Minister in charge of Finance, appointed or nominated. By whom? By the states. So how many ministers will all come together? 28 ministers of 28 states plus 3 deemed states. Correct. So 31 members are there who belongs to different state governments. Correct. And who are the CG's body? Because we know na that here both CG and SG are going hand in hand. Correct. So not only CG itself can decide on the other things, not the state government itself can decide. So a council had been formed where the formation has been like some union, some central persons are there and some union persons are there. Correct. So the chairperson is the Union Finance Minister. After that, Union Minister of State in charge of Revenue. And after that, Minister in charge of Finance, means Finance Minister of every state or any nominated person by that state. Okay, so 28 states are there, plus 3 those deemed state, so 31 members in all total. Correct? And among those 31, they themselves elect, among those 31 state members, okay, respective state members, they among themselves will decide who will become the vice chairman in that meeting. Okay, so suppose for an example, we all are from different states and we are the nominated person. Correct. So we are with all 31 are sitting. So we know chairperson is the Union Finance Minister. Correct. Now there is a vice chairman is also needed, which is appointed by, okay, either Union Finance Minister will appoint it, or from us anyone will nominate that I'll become, everyone agrees, he becomes the vice chairman. Correct. Formation is clear. Who is the chairperson? Finance Minister. After that, Union Finance Minister in charge of Revenue or Minister in charge of Finance, for Finance Minister of each state. Okay. Or Minister in charge of Finance or any appointed person by the state. There will be 31 members all total. Okay. For of 31 states, and one among themselves will elect themselves as a vice chairman. Correct. This was all about the formations. Correct. Now, don't you think that there must have been decided some course of action by how decisions will be taken? Correct. That this much vote should be there. Correct. Now, for a valid GST Council meeting, okay, the quorum must be 50% members to be present. Okay, so 50 members, so 50% member means how many members are total? Yes, anyone calculate? And
31 में 16 लेंगे.
नहीं 31 क्यों, एक और है ना अभी. आप
32,
यूनियन फाइनेंस
16.
मिनिस्टर को नहीं गिनोगे क्या?
16.
16. ठीक है, so 16 must be there. And how the decisions will be passed? By 3/4 majority, means 75%. Okay, so suppose for an example, if I'm raising some point, suppose the rate for this product should be 18%, correct? So how will my decision pass by? If 75%, okay, that means by majority 3/4 agrees to my vote, my decision, then it is decided that okay, this has been decided by the GST council, and now they will recommend it to the central government or state government that notify these changes. We have decided, we have agreed upon it, correct? No decision to be got it, not voting power, voting will be done, correct?
Sir, one doubt, sir.
Yes.
I'll just say an example, just correct me if I'm wrong, my understanding.
Okay.
If the total members of in the council is 100, the quorum is 50%, means 50 people must be present minimum. And out of that 50, the 75% should be
Should-
in favor of the decision.
In favor of that, correct.
Like that?
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, but you'll after this voting power, now you'll get it actually that one alone cannot pass the decision. How? See this, how the voting power has been differentiated. Voting power, 1/3 of the total vote casted. Okay, I think this is not fully given here.
सर इसका मतलब ये हुआ ना कि अगर 50% में 16% है, 16% का 75% 12% एग्री कर गए तो
ऐसे एक्चुअली में ऐसे 12% नहीं होता है, क्योंकि यहाँ पे एक मेजोरिटी दी हुई है ना, तो उसके रेस्ट्रिक्शंस में वोट होंगे, करेक्ट? मैं बताता हूँ, मैं कैलकुलेशन करके बताता हूँ, ज्यादा आपको बेटर समझ में आएगा. ओके, सो ओके, 1/3 of the total vote casted, okay, it is for central government, and 2/3 of the total vote casted should be of central government. Now you got it actually. What does that 75% of majority now means to be? That among that 75%, 1/3 of the vote should be, or voting power is it with the central government, that whether central government has agreed to the 1/3 of that vote or not, or whether all total states, okay, or of the members of the state who have agreed constitutes to be 2/3 of the vote or not.
It's not very clear, sir. Can you just explain with an example?
Shivam, can you please explain it again?
Okay. Right now, forget everything. Okay. Forget what we discussed. Then you might be able to get it. Now, okay. So the chairperson. Okay. Now, suppose for an example, how many members can be present? 31 of states and 2 of union. Correct? So all total 33 members will be present. Correct? So if we talk about quorum, so 50, more than 50%, 50% should be present. So how many? Minimum
70.
17. Minimum 17. 17 minimum is needed, correct? So right now, whatever meeting is going on, this 17 is the 100% of it, correct? And to pass a decision, how much vote is required? 3/4 majority. 3/4 majority, correct? Now I am saying that how the powers have been divided between central government and state government. Okay, suppose for an example, if I'm saying that 100% votes are there, okay, 100% votes are there, it is divided in the ratio of 1:2. You are getting 1:2y means 1/3 or 2/3. Correct? It has been divided in the ratio 1/3 and 2/3. 1/3 is for central government and 2/3 is for state government. How many votes were there in total? Suppose, for example, how many members are present? 17. Correct. So what is that 100% of the vote? It is 17 votes.
Sir, 13 plus 4.
17. Correct. What it is coming? Calculated. 1/3 of 17 is what?
Sir, it's 5.66.
Okay, let's keep it. Let's keep it 6. So let's keep it 11.
Yes,
Correct. So see, don't get confused that I'm saying only when 2 member of unions are there, that means only 2 votes can be done. No, among 17, among 100%. Okay, think it as a percentage wise. Correct. If I'm saying that 100% means those 17 members who are present or 17 votes that will be done. Okay, among them is 6 of the votes should be done by the, or 6 favoring should be done by the central government. Correct. And 11 shall be of state government. Not 11. Yeah, 11. So after that only decision will be passed.
So that central and state, how the differentiation we are making, like
see,
person
actually,
representing-
okay, think it in other way. Okay, let me check. Okay. See, 75% is the needed. Correct. But why this differentiation has been done as 1/3 or 2/3? Okay. This is actually because so that until and unless central government agrees to something, the state government itself cannot pass the law. Why so?
ultimately they are the deciding authority.
They are the deciding authority. So if I say that from 75%, 1/3 belongs to, should be belonging to the central government. Correct. That's what I mean to say. Correct. If I'm saying that 75% is needed and 3/4 of the vote or 1/3 of the vote is with the central government. So what I mean to say that among whatever votes will be done, 1/3 among them should be of central government. Okay. Don't imagine this thing as that the persons are sitting. In how many state centrals are there? Can you imagine? So don't you think that if central government will want something, that will definitely be passed? State will also
Sir,
come in favor of
according
that.
to my understanding, no, sir, if there is an issue and central government is taking one stance and state government is taking some other stance, the vote in favor of whom? You're talking like that, am I right?
Correct.
It's not the members constituting it.
No, that's what I'm saying. Don't think it as a members wise. Why I said that 17 members, so that you understand that what actually 75% of the vote I mean to say. Okay, if I'm saying that 2 members or 11 members, for example, so 33 members were all total. So if you count it by person, then you'll say that sir, union ka to sirf 2 vote hai, because there are only two members of union.
Yeah,
Correct.
that is what was confusing.
No, it's not about persons. It's about the percentage. कि जो decision, whatever decision is coming, if among that 1/3 is given by the CJ as well, then it will be passed. Because 2/3 is what? How many percent it is?
66%.
Near about, correct? What?
66.67.
66.66%. Correct?
Yeah.
And how much vote is required to pass decision? 75%. Correct? And what is 1/3? How many percent it is?
33.33.
33.33. So no one can alone pass that.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, it has been designed in such a way. Correct.
Clear.
Don't get confused by number of members participating in the quorum. Okay, it's about how many of have given in favor of that. Correct. From that, 1/3 should be given by the CG among 75%. Okay, and 2/3 is the power of state government. Correct. So for an example, if I say that a decision or something, some questions have been raised right now. Okay. So if I say that state people, please show your hand. For an example, it's not like that. So what I'll do, I can count the number of state peoples raising their hand. Then how many of the center are in favor of it? Correct. Now, if I add the total, okay, that is the 100%. Now I will check that whether 1/3 is of union or not, or 2/3 is of state or not. Correct. Don't get confused. It's as simple as that. Yes. Why there is so much silent? It's clear now, sir.
Oh, clear हो गया sir.
Okay. If after that also, no, you feel like, because I know it might happen that when the session is off now, when we'll try to remember now, you will feel like that, I'm again confused. Okay, don't worry. In next session, I'll again discuss it. Okay, until unless it's cemented, we'll be keeping on discussing. Okay. See, GST Council, as per Article 279A, okay. As per Article 279A of the Constitution of India, the President of India is empowered to constitute Goods and Service Tax Council. The President of India constituted GST Council on 15 September 2016. The GST Council shall consist of Union Finance Minister as a chairman, Union Minister of State in charge of finance as a member, State Finance Minister or State Revenue Minister or any other minister nominated by each state as a member of the council. So 2 members are there of Union, correct, and the rest all are rest 31 of states. The GST Council shall elect one among them as vice chairperson of council. Actually, it is among the states only. Okay. Guiding principle of the GST Council. The mechanism of GST Council would ensure harmonization on different aspects of GST between the center and the state, as well as among states. It has been provided in the Constitution 101st Amendment Act 2016 that the GST Council, in its discharge of various functions, shall be guided by the need of harmonized structure of GST and for the development of harmonized national market of goods and services. So actually what it has been formed for, okay, it's regarding that. Functions of GST Council. GST Council is to make recommendation to central government and state government on tax rate, exemptions, threshold limits, dispute resolutions, GST legislations, including rules, notifications, anything, notifications, etc., not anything. So what actually it will do all those, what I can say, principal body functions that are required so that GST can be implemented in the most easeful, okay, and without any complicated manner. Okay, now you'll see that in book, nowhere about the formation, okay, nowhere about the votes are given. Correct. I gave it from my side that at least you should know. Okay, so be assured that nothing is going to come. Just remember that 1/3 of the vote remains to the central and 2/3 is remained to the state. Why did I introduce it to you? Not for the calculation purpose, so as to know that state itself cannot pass any law until unless center agrees upon that. Yes, everybody, is that part clear or no?
Yes, sir, it is very clear.
Okay, for once, if the vote calculation is not clear to you, it will be done. But my motive was to make you clear that state can never ever pass the law again. It has been formed in such a beautiful manner that may not be the full control, but the final control will be in the hand of center only. Okay. Now we are left with one more topic of this introduction part, which is Goods and Service Tax Network. This is GSTN. Okay, direct questions do comes from here. Okay, in the exam, simple, straightforward questions do comes. GSTN, we call it GSTN. Okay, sometimes GST Council and GSTN people tends to mix up a bit. Now, what actually it is? Goods and Service Tax Network, that is GSTN, is a Section 8 companies Section 8 of the Companies Act 2013, that is not for profit companies, non-government private limited company, technology backbone of GST in India. Okay, so whatever today is happening in the GST now, okay, you can say that, okay, the transactions, okay, the speedy recovery, okay, the speedy assessments and all, this is all because of the GST. Okay, they are like the what I can say framework, okay, from where this web accessibility is arising from. Okay, GST being a destination-based tax, all interstate trade of goods and services, that is IGST, would need a robust settlement mechanism among the state and the center. Correct, because see, actually, we are saying that, okay, the law has been framed in such a way that IGST will be collected by the center, and after that apportionment will be done. Correct, but how actually this apportionment has to be done? Where actually the goods are being consumed? Which that SGST belongs to which state? Correct. So all this, okay, what I can say that all this has been cracked, okay, or is right now happening in such a good way just because of the GST network, GSTN. This is possibly only when there is a strong IT infrastructure and service backbone which enables capture, processing, and exchange of information amongst the stakeholders, including taxpayers, states, and central governments, accounting offices, banks, and RBIs. Okay, so ultimately, each and everything that is happening, I'm not saying that GST is running because of them, okay, but the web work, okay, the web frame, okay, or the IT infrastructure, okay, or the services that they provide, okay, all are in what I can say in ease or conveyance because of them. As a result, goods and service tax network has been set up. It has been set up for that function only. Okay. Functions of GST, that is role assigned to goods and service tax network. Creation of common and shared IT infrastructure for functions facing taxpayers. Okay, functions facing taxpayers that has been assigned to the GSTN, and these are filing of registration application, filing of return, creation of challan for tax payment. Okay, so actually what you can do now, suppose if you are facing any problem while filing your return na, or getting registered, you can visit to the GSTN center and they'll do it for you, okay, with no cost. So if you are eligible for being registered, okay, so that application will also be filed by them. They'll also help you in filing return. Okay, challan for tax payment is required, okay, in cases where e-way bill is there. At later part we'll get it more. Okay, settlement of IGST payment, like clearing house. Okay, how actually IGST is settled, we just discussed that how central will apportion SGST, state government tax amount to them. So that all is being done by them. Generation of business intelligence and analytics. Okay, different softwares or functions. Okay, what we see right now for GST is all under their, that all falls under their category. Okay, development and facilitation. This all forms under their functions. All statutory functions to be performed by tax officials under GST, like approval of registration, assessment, audit, appeal, enforcement, etc., will remain within the respective tax department. Okay, so who will be filing? Okay, actually, we say that go to the GSTN center, everything will be done, but actually they are the they are the tax officials of the department who do file it, and they do your work on behalf of GSTN network. Okay, so that will complete our okay, I think we discussed this, that 5 petroleum products like high speed diesel, motor spirit, okay, crude oil, ATF, aviation turbine fuel, and natural gas, they are still out of GST, but they will be inserted in GST as the time will move on. Okay, with some later time, but right now on its manufacture, central excise duty is there, and on its sale, VAT or CST is there. Correct. So if it is between states, so CST. If it is within the state, then VAT. Remember, okay, these two forms question of your multiple choices. Okay, and we know alcoholic liquor for human consumption. Yes.
But you said we have abolished all those things. Now only GST 1 Act is there.
Now only this 5 amounts, this 5 and this tobacco is there. Only they are left to be covered under GST. Otherwise, 99% things have been covered. Okay.
So for them, VAT and GST will apply.
Yeah. For them, VAT and GST will apply. Okay. I know these things are not there in the book, and that is why I provided this note additional to you. Okay. So the smaller points or MCQ points, so that during the exam when you start revision, these all things to click in your mind. So these 5 petroleum products will right now they are attracting central excise duty on manufacture and on its sale, VAT or CST as the case may be. But we know alcoholic liquor for human consumption, it can never ever come under GST. It has been kept. Okay, article itself said that because state were never ever agreeing to it. Okay, so that's why it has been kept out of. So for the whole life on its manufacture, state excise. Now see, state excise is there, correct? Not central excise. That means the whole revenue is going to the state government, and that is why all the states were opposed to it. Okay, except few states where it's banned. On sale, VAT or CST. But remember, tobacco is the only product. Okay, it is under GST. Okay, but to make it more costlier so that people will avoid it more, what they have done on manufacture central excise, but on sale GST is there. Okay, so this is only one product. Now you can see also now why actually they are trying to do. They are trying to increase these prices as more as they can. Correct, so that their consumption is reduced. But actually nothing like that is happening. Okay, so on tobacco, manufacture central excise, but on sale, GST is there. Alcoholic liquor, manufacture central excise, on sale, VAT and CST, 5 petrol product as the same. Okay. This ITC part, we won't discuss now, at some later. Okay, now I have always been talking about now that these taxes have been abolished, these taxes have been abolished. Here's the list of those. So if I talk about central taxes, what are the central taxes that has been abolished? Central excise duty. Okay, excise duty and excise duty for Medical and Toilet Preparation Act. Okay, they used to have a special excise duty that is also curbed. Additional duty of excise, that is on goods of special importance, some additional duties were levied. Okay, all kind of excise has been abolished. Okay, except those 5 petroleum products, and tobacco will always be there, alcoholic liquor always will be there. Service tax, okay, additional duty of excise for textile and textile product. Okay, service tax is additional custom duty, that is excise, special additional custom duty. Okay, why I have written VAT? Because it used to be in the same amount as it used to be VAT. Okay, when you will discuss custom, you get everything. Central surcharge and cess. So these all are the 8 taxes that have been subsumed under GST from center point of view. And now from the state point of view, VAT, GST, entry tax, luxury tax, advertisement tax, tax on lottery, betting, gambling, entertainment tax, other than levied by the local authority. That means if this entertainment tax is levied by the local authority, it is still there, but those which were used to be levied by the state is now abolished. Purchase tax, state cess and surcharge have been abolished. Okay, so these are the 17 taxes which have been subsumed. Okay, everybody. Okay, once I discuss this ITC input tax credit part, I will discuss this example as well. Okay, so for intro, we'll keep it up to here. Okay, and we'll start supply now.
Shivam?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a doubt.
Come on.
Will that you said now alcohol for human consumption, there is no GST, right?
There cannot be any GST.
Yeah.
Never ever in your life.
Yeah, where alcohol used in medical purpose, right? Like industries like
GST is there. GST is there. On that GST
is there.
Correct. Yeah. That's why the name itself suggests that is used for human consumption, but for any other purposes it is used for, then that will attract GST.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, anyone has anything to ask from here?
सर एक बार वो वाला बताइए ना, इंटर स्टेट इंट्रा स्टेट का, वो जो बताए थे ना कि अगर सेम लोकेशन ऑफ सप्लाई और प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई अगर सेम है तब उसमें CGST SGST लगता है। उस कंसेप्ट को एक बार दोबारा से बता दीजिए, क्लियर हो जाएगा कंसेप्ट। ऐसे क्लियर है मगर 100% नहीं।
देखिए एक्चुअली में हम क्या देखते हैं ना, हम ये देखते हैं कि खरीदने वाला और बेचने वाला है कहाँ। एक स्टेट में है उसको हम लोग इंट्रा स्टेट बोलते हैं और CGST और SGST लगाते हैं, ठीक है। लेकिन अगर दोनों अगर अलग अलग स्टेट में है तो उसको हम लोग इंटर बोलते हैं और इंटर के केस में हम लोग IGST लगाते हैं। तो बहुत सिंपल सी चीज है।
नहीं तो वहां पे सिर्फ IGST लगाएंगे कि और
सिर्फ
भी कुछ
IGST
लगाएंगे?
नहीं नहीं नहीं, ये IGST होता क्या है, ये तो CGST प्लस SGST ही होता है ना। Yes, everybody, you guys agree to it, na, that IGST is nothing but it is the combination of CGST plus SGST. Correct. So what I mean to say is that suppose if the CGST rate is 9% and SGST rate is 9%, and if I talk about IGST on the same product, what it will be?
18%.
It will be 18%.
इट मींस बिहार से बिहार में हुआ तब सीधा
हाँ।
9% बांट देंगे CGST SGST में। अगर यही चीज बिहार से अगर दिल्ली
बात
जा
नहीं देंगे, काटेंगे। बात कैसे दे देंगे?
बांट देंगे बांट देंगे
हाँ बांट देंगे, हाँ
नॉट
बांट
बांट देंगे।
देंगे।
अगर यही चीज बिहार से अगर दिल्ली जाती है तो वैसे
फिर
स्थिति में सीधा IGST लगाएंगे।
IGST लगेगा।
हाँ अगर सर इसमें UT GST वाला आता है
तो UT
उसको
GST
फिर
होगा तो क्या होगा? सेम स्टेट में नहीं होगा, सेम UT में होगा।
जैसे हम यहाँ हैं, ठीक है, हम तो UT नहीं है, मतलब कि हम तो हमारा
हम
अपना
स्टेट में, आप
लेजिस्लेचर है।
स्टेट में है, आप किसी UT में ट्रांजैक्शन कर रहे हैं, करेक्ट।
हाँ
तो
हाँ
वहां पे आप इसमें आ जाइएगा, क्योंकि इन डिफरेंट स्टेट और इन डिफरेंट UT और वन स्टेट वन UT, यही तो हमने डिस्कस किया ना। आप ये देखिए, इसको पढ़िए।
अच्छा, उसमें वहां पे वो फर्दर क्लासिफिकेशन नहीं है कि अगर आप किसी यूनियन टेरिटरी में ये लोकेशन ऑफ सप्लाई जो है आपका,
ये देखिए, इसको पढ़ लीजिए, क्लियर हो जाएगा। अगर दो स्टेट के बीच में हो या दो UT के बीच में हो या एक स्टेट एक UT के बीच में हो तब भी IGST लगता है। और अगर सेम स्टेट या सेम UT में हो तो CGST SGST, अगर स्टेट है तो, और UT है तो CGST प्लस UT GST लगता है। Yes. Okay, so anyone has anything to ask in this? If not, then we'll start supply.
Hello.
Yes, Murli.
Sir, Maruti dealer is registered in Andhra Pradesh, but their services will be different kinds of states. Karnataka and Kerala persons will come to service here. Then during this time, that rise IGST or CGST is in local service part.
I was not able to hear you properly. Go a bit slow. Go a bit slow. They're coming for service.
Service, yes.
For service, why are you bringing service into CGST, SGST or interstate sale? That is service, hai na?
Yes, service.
But that's not goods, correct? For services, we'll discuss something separately. Don't worry.
Okay.
Service will form base of something else.
Okay.
Right now, whatever we discussed about this, it is according that we are selling goods. Okay, we are not talking about service right now. Okay, and the way you said, it was not service. It looked like that they're coming for some work over here. Correct. They'll do the work and after that they'll go on. Correct. So in that case, we'll discuss those cases also. But right now, that will be very complicated. Yes, Madhu.
Yes, Shivam, I have a doubt. Correct me if I'm wrong. If supply takes place between one state and one union territory, it attracts IGST, right? Not UTGST.
No.
Okay. Thanks. You can carry on.
Okay. So so our introduction parts ends over here. Okay. So we'll start with supply now.